I have terrible panic attacks. What have I got a panic over? I've got my own house, I'm married to the woman of my dreams, I've got 2 great sons. We went through a period where Kevin was terribly ill, was classified dead on a bed, and I ran around the bed.
Hello, this is Black Country Blokes Chewing the Fat.
Listen.
I've been hearing a lot lately about men don't talk, but in my experience, men do talk, just people aren't listening. So it's going to be me and a group of blokes discussing our struggles and victories through life. Warning, there may be some bad language, so apologies to all the moms, especially my own. Let's get going.
Listen.
Yeah, this is the Black Country Blokes Chewing the Fat. With me, Kev Dillon, Lee Cadman, Craig Pinches, Aaron Jew. And once again, we're joined by my dad, Bob Dillon. This is part 2, because by God can this man talk. So we've got from Bob, who suffered with bad hearing and being teased as a child. He's gone and achieved so much with boxing in his own right. He become a coach. Now him and his best friend, Big John Shakespeare, have started up the Lions. So tell us about the second chapter of your boxing life, Dad.
Me and John, we've gone through what we've gone through, and we're completely different coaches, but we've got the same philosophy that you need shape and movement. So I've decided to go into, there's a magnificent friend who's my dad. After Dennis Jackson, who passed away, who guided me and took me from this ranting coach to this more of a philosopher and to listen. We have 2 shapes. We have the physical shape and we have the internal shape, the mind. And that's what makes and breaks us. That's what makes us frightened. And we can't cope with that, you see. We just can't cope with that. And he taught me how to horse whispering. Never said that before. Just come to me, maybe how to horse whisper, how to box whisper to a boxer. How to get that stallion. How to, okay. You're a racehorse. You're a plough horse. You're a charger. And that's how you work with boxers.
Well, you just said something great off air about it's not good enough to win, it's how we win.
Well, that's it, you see, because we've got egos, and we've all got an ego. I was with a great guy called Colin Jones. What a fighter! And we was all talking, and it was about the worst thing a coach can have is an ego. Well, actually, you're talking bananas. The best thing you can have is an ego, because I want to walk into everywhere I go, and people go, "Oof, Bob Dillon, the Lions are here." That's what I like. Not, Bob Dillon, we're more right here. He teaches that water shit. We float like water. Bruce Lee. People forget Bruce Lee's an actor.
Yeah.
Well, wow. Actor. Right? Great in his own right, but so the idea is I have terrible panic attacks. What have I got a panic over? I've got my own house, I'm married to the woman of my dreams, I've got 2 great sons. We went through a period where Kevin was terribly ill, was classified dead on a bed, and I ran around the bed. No, he ain't dead, he was all right this morning, we played this morning, and then he was kicked out of hospital, and then we took him back again, and he got meningitis. Not the flu, not appendicitis, and he went blind, and it destroyed me. But
do you think some of your problems now still goes back
to
that?
Yeah, but not that. That was, see,
but
people...
the fear of losing someone.
But people will put... That's what brought it on. But you're all so wrong. Not you guys. We, as a society, we're all wrong. That was horrific what happened. And I've stood to this day, because he's been the love of my life. He's been a nutter. I used to come through the door, I'd hear Dad, I'd turn around, he was on the work service, dive in. You think I'm joking? He's as brave as a lion, I'd catch him, I thought it was Gordon Banks, for them that don't know Gordon Banks, he was in England. I'd dive through the air to catch him. And he was always fighting, and we had our stories, which I was blessed from my grandparents and my parents, that we would tell stories. Both my lads would say to me when they was going to bed at night, come and read the book, then tell me one of your stories. So I'd tell them a story out the book, and then I would tell them a story about, with Richard, it was Dick Whittington and Black Bess, and how he rode with them and how he saved Dick Turpin. because I've always had that flair to tell kids stories. And with Kevin, he was King Kevin against Monbra, who fought, and his dog Patch, and they rode, and the Robin that would come and knock on the window over night time. And that got us through some heavy shit, didn't it? Yeah. Some heavy shit. So that was terrible, and everybody feels sorry for me for what I went through with Kevin. And yeah, you're right, I needed that help, I needed that pull. But my mother and my dad, they like, okay, you feel sorry for yourself, but what about your wife and your son? Because the son that suffered just as much as Buddy here was Richard. Because he kind of had to play, and all of a sudden his little bro was seriously ill. But you don't think that when you're in the middle of the fight. When you're in the middle of a fight, mate, you don't get no nerves. You want to get the nerve before the bell goes. And when the bell goes for the last time, then you get to it, because it's called fight time. And that was a fight, and that went on for years. So yeah, that screwed me. That brought things to the front, where I would wake up, because I couldn't do nothing about that. Because the bell went, what do I fight? What do I punch? What do I scream at?
Well, I think that's the thing, isn't it? Like, when it's something to play, if you get hit by a car, you hate the driver, don't you?
Yeah, you'll do the driving. But you'll do the driving up here.
But when it's something out of your control, when it's God's will or whatever terminology.
Well, that's what we do, you see, because that's what we do with religion. Yeah. We create a God that fills our need, and that God's real name, is Santa Claus. Whatever your religion is, Buddhism, Muslim, Christian, Sikh, whatever your God is, you're taught what God is. God is good. It creates life, and that's what. And you go on whatever your journey is. But we create, because we're taught that if you do bad things, God will be angry. If you do good things, he'll be happy. And good things is boom. So when this happened, God's punishing me. What had I done to take the most precious thing that I've ever been given? And my wife never left his side, All the while he was in hospital, she never left his side. Take female and male out of it. There's a human being for you. And my mum and dad looked after Richard. Well, that's what you do. But I blame God. But that ain't what a God is.
Well, I think something that it did give you, I know it's what give me, is a great capacity for empathy. So when you have these people come through the door, you can relate more to them. Because I think they say misery loves company, but misery also gives you an aspect of understanding it. So if someone has lost their eyes or lost a son or lost their whatever, you can understand pain because you've been through it. And I think that's a great tool that it's given us both.
It has.
To make us great teachers.
I think he's taught us, shove your pity up your arse. Don't come round me. We've had to speak about it. The lucky part was it landed in the part of the brain where it left you with so many gifts. It left you where you come, and when you found out you couldn't box, Jesus Christ, I did cry for you. Because that's the one thing you was always better than everybody else at. And stuff like that. And it done me in. And when you went to school and the teachers, the teachers let us down so bad because they thought they were doing a job. That's what I'm paid to do. I'm important. I'm here to look after Kevin. Here's a yellow pen and write on white paper. Visually impaired, classed as blind. Teacher, I'll get this school and I'll get bossed out of it. And teachers were, anyway, another day, another story.
But that's like with the Lions, because I couldn't box. And then because we've created, so I'd always gone up Wally, I'd always done my boxing.
You worked under Dennis Jackson,
Dennis Jackson, he was like my granddad, wasn't
he? And Johnny Dix, it was like your uncle.
Oh, I love Johnny Dix as well.
What a human being Johnny Dix was. Never boxed. Nice guy, done his level 1, helped Kevin, took to Kevin, and he said, wow, yeah, because that's just see, we've taken that positives, but you still, these people that get flooded, and they say, right, next year, I'm going to put a bigger dam course, and I'm going to have waterproof doors, and then it floods again, and the water still finds a way in. That's what fear does. Yeah. That's where it gets us. That's where fear gets us. How can I be frightened of anything when I've worked with the best coaches in the world? Lee Pullen, wow, what strength I take from him. He's a GB coach now. We've come through together. Dave Putnell, Dave Alloway, Alan Sanigar, Brian Inkley, who set me on my journey. He conned me. I'll never forgive him. I love him and I'm grateful because I'm an England coach now and look at me. I'm as famous as I want to be, no more, no less. And he sent me down there. They got the funding. They sent me down for my level 3. And I thought I was going down there on just a chat. That was a course. You mean it's a course? You're on a course? Oh, hang on, mate. The only course I want is intercourse. There's no way I want this shit. Sending me down in this.
Maybe not intercourse with Brian England.
I fear exams. And yet I've done lots of coaching, but I fear exams because I'm thick, because I'm stupid, because I've never passed anything at school. You're thick, you're stupid. 62 years of age, I go there and I say, oh, we've got a course coming up in a week's time that you've got to take. In steps fear. I've bolted that door up, I've bricked that door up, I've put a sheet of steel over that window, I've put some smoke repellent there. I'm safe. Fear can't get in. You're on the course. It's come down the chimney. And it strikes, that's what it does. And you call it anxiety, we call it panic. I've had it this week. I've got nothing, I've got the best job, I'm still married to the sweetheart of my life, I've got 2 great kids, I've got friends, you're my family. And then anxiety hits. Because I've been poorly and I've got to bed and on my chest, can't breathe. Of course I can breathe. That's how the body's made. And we're upside down on the tree and I breathe. But your mind, you see, goes off because you've seen those 3 different parts. You've got the dinosaur part of the mind, then you've got the bit where you start to think, then you've got Mr. Bogeyman, the front part, where he goes like, ooh, there's a lion out there. And he's called fear. And he's coming for you. Can you afford to pay for that? Can you really afford to buy that car? How about if you see him, who's fell out with him, and you're getting a bit of a, well, I could whip his ass. Yeah, but if you give him a smack, say he goes to the police. What happens then? How about he goes to the police? And what about that bloke who's parked on your drive and he's told Julie to fuck off? Can't have that. Because I'm Gangster Bob now. That's disrespect. Tell my wife to fuck off. Do you know who I am? See what's happening? He's there. He's there. Whoa, I'll give him fuck off. And then it comes from the other side. Because that's what he does. He just moves around in the brain all the while. Because if you stopped in a corner, Mr. Anxiety, Mr. Panic, Mr. Fear, if you stopped in the one corner, be easy, I'll box you. But he's like smoke. He's like smoke. You sit in an house and somebody has a bonfire, every window's double glazed. You can smell smoke. That's what fear does to us. And then luckily, people like Nick Davis, who's worked with us for ages, again, look. Yeah. His dad comes through the door working with kids, and we end up meeting Nick, and we've been on a tremendous journey. Yeah. And he's taught me this, that it's fear. And there's no need for
the rational fear. It's a lion runs in. We've our mind will keep us like run, get out of it, throw fucking someone else at the lion. But it's that irrational fear, as you said, like if I do this, if I eat him, he could hurt me. I could hurt him. The police, and me and you, I take after you for this. Nanny Jones the same. It's the thought patterns that go over in our head, and a lot of them we've said this. Well, next time I see Bob, I'm going to tend to fuck off. And you go for all these scenarios. Yeah. And he walks past, because you're okay, there's Jasmine. And you go, Bobo, you bastard. That's the one thing I didn't expect. But I'll lose 2 weeks of sleep doing that.
It's a lovely story that was told. I forget who told me. And this guy is driving through the country and he looks, oh my God, I didn't top up with petrol. And he's looking and the light starts to blink. Oh, let's drive slow, drive slow. Even though thought tells you drive quick to get to the petrol station, quick, drive slow because it lasts. Oh, and then he looks up and he sees a light in the distance. And he goes, it's 6:30, it's the middle of winter, 6:30. That's a farm, I'll get there. If I drive slow, I'll get there. If the car breaks down, I can still walk there, I can see that light. It's 7 o'clock. I'm there now. And the car breaks down. And he gets out and he gets to his petrol can and he starts walking towards it. They'll always have something there. And if they don't, they'll get me somewhere and I'll pay him and I'll say sorry. Or he'll be a farmer. Them farmers are miserable bastards. Them farmers are right miserable bastards. They hate us townies. And he gets there and then, oh God, oh look, the light's gone off and the other one, oh, I bet he's on his way to bed. He's going to tell me to fuck off. Why didn't I just ring the AA and tell him where I am? I'm nearly there now, I'm nearly there now. If he tells me to fuck up, I'll have to beg him, and he knocks on the door, the bloke says, oh mate, he mate, stick the petrol up your fucking arse, and walks off.
Genius.
That's fear. That's fear. There's no sense in the rhyme to it. I go there. When I'm in the heat of battle, I'm as good as anybody. Just give me a shield, give me sword. My heat of battle now is getting people ready to go.
Yeah. Like bringing it back to the coach, and I know when you asked me to be a coach, I had that fear because I've never boxed.
Yeah.
And that's what me and Simon Spencer started the battle class.
Yeah.
And that's where I cut my teeth with it, learning the 5-year-olds how to do it, and then progress through doing it. Because I always thought, I'm going to get found out.
Yeah.
They're going to find out. And even though I knew everything I was on about, I've been brought up everything all my life, it's that fear of being found out, isn't it? Am I out of place in this?
Well, let's run with that one, you see. Because that's what fear does. It's so clever. It's so clever because it's part of you. It's in your library. It's reading all your fears. Yeah. Oh, you've done me on that one. It lives in your... It's got free access to your library. What makes you brave, what arouses you, what deflates you, it lives there. So Kev's been brought up in it, sparred in here with you and the lads, and Big Pete Griffin.
Quinton Hillocks,
Hey, Christ, Big Pete Griffin, he's longer than the A449, isn't he? And he's about as tall as a bucket.
Yeah.
And he's in there learning to, and I'm thinking, and it's the bravest thing I've ever done. The bravest thing I've ever done is doing less for him than I did for Richard. For Richard, I was always going over the park, saying to the big lads, what's your name? Doodah. Okay. You're so-and-so's son, yeah, not a problem. I'll go in the pub that night. I'm not a pub man, I'm not a drinker. I just don't do pubs. And I'd walk in and I'd walk over to so-and-so, Tony. So, all right, Tom, can I buy you a drink? That's the way I've always dealt with it, off my dad. Can I buy you a drink? All right, Bert. All right, a lager. All right, yeah, no problem. Buy a lager. I put it on the table. He said, what's that for? I said, so there's no hard feelings. Whatever. Once you've done that, we're going outside, and it's going to fucking hurt. But just let your lad know, every time he picks on my lad, this is what's going to happen. But enjoy the drink. There's no hard feelings. And you see the sheer fear in their eyes, right? Didn't do that with him. I thought, I can't. I'm going to have to let him fall over. Let's see if he can get up.
That's always that saying. I know Mum always says it's like when I was a kid, if you and Mum said, don't do that, Kevin, you'll fall over. And I look back, I just lost my eyes. I said, well, don't worry, Daddy, I'll get back up.
That's where I got the same from. Done me in. So I thought, you two ways here. If I go and do what I did for Richard, and I do it for him, he's never gonna have a war. He's never gonna have a battle. He's never gonna know what it's like. And by which time, anyway. So I did a lot more for Richard in that capacity than I ever did for him, because he'd got to fight him. And when he'd go out of a night time with his mates, I'd sit up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and he'd come back, converted the garage into a flat for him. I'd sit up and he'd come in and I'd go, oh, he's back. I'll have a look tomorrow if he's been in the row or anything that ain't. And he'd say, yeah, I've been in the row with so-and-so, and there's 2 of them beating me up. I'd go, okay, well, you've got to get around that. If that had been Richard, I'd go, no, 2 of them was that. That's 2 people I've got to beat up. I'm not trying to be big-headed. I've always been able to handle myself. I'm good at handling myself. But I'd get there and I'd go. And people say, was it when Kevin went blind? Yeah. Was it when the teachers called me thick? Well, yeah. This is what I'm saying about smoke. It comes in, so then when you try to fight it,
It's that library in your head.
it's in your library. Oh, so you've got me cornered off there. Where's that other book? Oh, this is what happened there. And it does it. I've had it this week. I've had it terrible this week. But I talk about it now. I had it terrible this week. The love of my life now is my little Jazz. And we're playing with her. And I'm fighting through while I'm having a panic while I'm playing with her. And she don't know what's up, because I ain't going to tell her about panic attacks. And I'm there. And it's because it goes to my chest when I get the flu or anything. And then when I'm sleeping, I ain't going to be able to breathe. Yeah. My mum died with cancer. I held her hand when she died, 57. what a lioness she was. That's where I get this from. They're being able to tell stories, and they laugh at me at GB because I always come up with a story to coach. So successful doing it, and that's where he gets his gift from my mum, from my mum's side. And I'll tell a story and blah blah blah. But she's dying with cancer, and it's a warm day, and she dies. So I'm in a hot room, can't breathe, because I remember her choking and dying that horrible death. But when you speak to the medics, they say no, that she wouldn't have felt that, can't breathe, because that's passing. Right. I know she's about, without going on the spiritual, I know she's about because I felt her. I felt her. And then my dad died an horrible death with Parkinson's a few years after, and whatever. So of course all that goes into the mind. But that ain't what done me. It's life. Yeah. Fills you with doubt.
And I'm going on to that, Dave. We've got this place, and you've created Connor Jones, who's now gone professional 6-0, Ricky Summers and Quinton Animal.
You've got the best I ever saw was young Tommy Hickinbottom. And wherever I go in the world, because I'm a big believer in, I believe what I believe, wherever I go in the world, as I walk down to there, I'll say, come on Tom, let's go. And he's with me. Come on Tom, let's go. And I'm talking now, I used to talk to him. And you had the Prices, Andrew and James, and you had Kyle Spencer. What an unlucky dude he was. Oh, another day, another story. And then you had all those champions come through, and Ricky Whitehouse, how blessed am I to have all these people in my life. Ricky Whitehouse, who's just had a baby son. And he'll come up here and do that. So this is a boxing club, but it's a church.
It's so much more than that, isn't it? It's the
It's
family.
a church.
That
We
a
all
lot of
come.
people haven't had on.
We all meet. It's a religious place where we all meet. It's where the warriors tell the story. It's where people that ain't going to ever box, they come and that don't happen in many places. People that come up here and they train and they're never going to box, but you get just as much time as the dude that does. But like I say, how do you beat the fear? You've got to learn how to embrace it.
Well, that's the next
How
thing I
do
was gonna say.
how do you embrace something that you're frightened of? Go
Because
on.
you become this great coach, and then taking the next step onto England and then to GB.
Well, I got conned by Brian Inkley to go down, and I'm on a course. Straight away, my arse has gone 50 pence piece, man, I'll cover 50 pence piece, man, I'll cover. I'm just thinking, what am I doing here? But with all courses, if you think about it logically, what I tell people, I put them in the courses, you have a week to find out what you've got to find out. Then you went away for 6 months, then you came back down and you sat your exam. Dead easy. But not when your arse is trying to breathe and your mouth seized up and you panic because you're not worth anything. So I've done my level 3 and I met incredible people and I learned different ways of coaching. Oh, go out for a jab. All right, is that what you call that there? And then I understood the word phases. Phases wins your fights. If you can box first and second all day long, 2-phase attacks, 3-phase attacks, and all these different words, that wins your fights. So I thought I knew everything. Go on.
So when you were first there, like with England and everything, because England before GB.
Well, I went, and then I had to go and do my level 4. And then when you're level 4, then you get called up, you have a letter. And it meant so much to me that I had the letter for my level 4 that I passed. And I went down to do it. And it was, I went down on the train. I used to do it for nothing them days. You get down on a Friday, and you come back on a Sunday, and you did it for nothing. And I went down, I worked, and I worked with a guy called Kelvin Travis. And I worked with it, and I saw how he trained, and it was talk at the couches, talk at the boxing, and go off on it. And I said, this ain't for me. Oh, sun don't shine up your arse, stick it there. And that's what I said. Oh, I said, we'll get on great. I said, I don't think so. But I'm getting changed. It didn't mean nothing to me. I got a real good job for the council when I was over people. I was over about 300 people in different capacities and loved working with them and being a gaffer. I loved it. Better than getting your hands dirty for a living, I'm telling you. I loved it. And then I got this guy who wants me to go down there and we spoke to her like that and spoke out. No, I ain't going to do that. But there was a guy called Ian Irwin and a guy called Alan Sanagar who was a great coach educator. There's never been one like him since. But Ian Irwin was the main England guy and it was run perfectly in them days, so much better. Because when you ran a squad, it was to learn how to block, parry, and how to spar, and what a job meant, not just turn up for sparring. And Ian Irwin rang me up and he says, hello Bob, he says, are you that you were very happy with it? I said, no. I said, Mr. Irwin, I said, I'd like to say thank you and blah, blah, blah. But he thanked for me. I said, because I'm not a maverick, but I can't be having that. And he said, would you like to work with a guy called Chris Edmonds? And I went working with Young England. And that's with Frankie Gavin and David Price and Jaffa and Stephen. Oh, wow. What an experience that was. What an experience that was.
And you're also on one of the boards to get women's boxing in, wasn't you?
Well, I couldn't believe that we talk boxing should be described as a martial art. And because if you do it how we do it, level 1, level 2, level 3, bronze, silver, gold, it's your belts. And that's why I designed it that way, it's your belts. Not to make money, it's your belts. So you go and join any karate in Wanneroo, Wadakai, you have to do your belts. And that's where a lot of the martial arts have fell down now, because you go now to somebody and it's all about selling belts. And they haven't had to...
It's the cost. I mean, when I first came, it was like 50p a session.
Yeah.
And it's still not that much more now, is it, for a session? Whereas if you look at the karate, you're paying for your lessons at £5-6 a lesson. Then when you get a belt, you have to pay for the belt and for the assessment.
Yeah.
And you think, you know...
Yeah, but what happened was, you see, when you went from those that I went to, what a card, and the guy who's passed away now was a great coach, John, you paid your money, you got your book, but it came from Japan, and it was the guy that came and done the exam was this little Japanese guy, Suzuki, like the motorbike, and he spoke quietly, and when he did it, it was precise. But that was proper forms, and now, like the people that call themselves martial arts, and good luck to you, they've done 6 months with that, and 6 months with that, and 6 months with that, and they've built it together, and this is called Wufeng, water, back to the water philosophy. Water is wonderful. You splash it when you're high. You give bottle, you have drink. Wonderful philosophy. But you get fucking mugged everywhere you go. Just give them water. Always carry water. You say to the mugger, have a drink before you beat the shit out of them. You know what I mean? And you get a lot of that. It's called the combi, guys. But join my philosophy. When you get beat up, think good thoughts. Oh, good job. Wow. See, we got lions in us, so we want to get a boxing. So I went down there and I worked with them, and I met Frankie Gavin. Wow.
The only ever English man to win the world, wasn't he?
To get through all the cheating and whatever. But do you know who thought how to beat the Russian? The Russian, I forgot his name, that he beat for the World Championship was phenomenal. Hadn't been beat for years. And the scoring was and it was 4-2s, and it was the scoring. It was in America. Got let down badly there. I was picked to go there. Like I was picked to go to Beijing Olympics. Politics, egos, which causes stresses. So the guy that thought how to beat that guy came up with that idea how to beat that guy. And this is good coaching. This is the best coaching you're ever going to have to become a coach. Sat down with me and we spoke about that Russian. And you know who come up with the idea how to beat that guy? Frankie Gavin. No coach come up how to beat him. They'll all jump in and say it was me. I sat with him, like I sat with David Price, coming into the Olympic Games. That's coaching. Listen to what the gladiator has to say, and then give him the weapons that he feels comfortable to use. Don't tell him he should be able to use a spear when he's a swordsman. Don't tell him to use a net when he automatically uses a shield and uses the axe. Let the warrior dictate which way he's going to go. Teach him to use everything. So I sat with Frankie. I never forget, I sat with Frankie. I went talking. And he said, how do you think we ought to beat him, Bob? I ain't got a clue how to beat this guy. He's unbeaten. Better coaches than me. Coaches that I've rubbed shoulders with, the great Cuban coaches, because that always makes me laugh when people say, I'm coaching the Cuban way. They've never even opened a Cuban box of cigars. But they're teaching the Cuban way. I've read a book on Cuba, you see. Anyway, so I went, what do you think, Frank? I said, I think it's got to be done like countering him. He went, nah. Well, you've been asked before then. You know, but this is the way, because you've got this internal thing going on all the while, haven't you? You've got the questions, and he says, well, you got to go for him. You got to go and come off and go and come off. What's the best way a counterpuncher fights? He's a pressure fighter. A pressure fighter makes you throw. People get counterpunching mixed up. People think a counterpuncher waits and waits and waits and waits and waits, and then he loses. I thought I'd wait for him. Oh, didn't work, did it? You've got to pressure him. What's the pressure boxer do? He's on you, he makes you throws. So Frankie says, no, I've got to go out there, I've got to go first, make him miss and bump. I've got to pressure him into doing it. And he came up with this plan. And I just looked at him and I went, yeah. I haven't got a clue if he was right or wrong. I was at Sheffield training. I just believed so much in him. Every time I took him away and he won because of him. Every time he lost because of cheating. He was just phenomenal. He was a great kid. He was as crazy as a box of frogs. But he knew everybody's weight, he knew everybody's style. Phenomenal. That didn't come from coaching. That came from a greater force. That came from nature. So he goes over and there's the Russian, and I'm watching it on the computer, and I'm screaming. I must have woke 3 people up from like 4 days down, screaming at him. And he's down. He's down. And I'm thinking, it ain't working, Frankie. But you know what he's got? A pair of balls. And what's more powerful than a decent pair of balls? Self-belief. He stuck to the plan. Now everybody will claim credit for that. There's a cleaner at Crystal Palace that came down there one day to get an autograph, and he says, oh, I help Frankie get that mug in water. If it hadn't been me cleaning that floor, I come all the way from Crystal Palace, walked into Sheffield, cleaned where he trains, and tell you what, there's a taxi driver in the brass house. The brass says, oh, I have to get the tension out of his neck. Right? It's Frankie Gavin, and that's what we've got to remember as coaches. The ability to do that. And as for people that, see, Kevin never boxed, but he sparred all the while. And he'd come along when we go to boxing shows and we see how certain people, we go with nerves. Now, little Tommy Hickinbottom, love of my life, my little mate.
For those who don't know, Thomas tragically died. I've mentioned him on countless shows, like the Patron Saint of the Lions. We lost him riding his pedal bike, went to the back of a car, went through the window and bled to death on the side of the road. That was 16 years ago.
They rushed him into hospital and he passed away there.
But yeah, so people who don't know Thomas Hickinbottom, he's the patron saint of our place. Sorry, Dave, carry on. What a kid.
Funny dude. It took all these years, I can talk about it now without crying. He's talent, and got a nerve in his body. Bollocks. There you go, nice word, bollocks. Well, there you go, bollocks. He'd come in the gym and he knew he got a spar, and he'd be looking around the gym. He was petrified of looking bad. What a fear. Where that come to beat that fear, they come from me and Big John. We just taught him drills and I teach him drills and I boom back boom, that's our motto. Boom back boom, the Hickinbottom shuffle. Boom back boom, boom back boom, boom back boom. Boom back boom is you go, you come back, they drop short, you punch again. You're in, you're out, you go again. You're in, you're out, and changing an angle, you know what angle means? Move to the side. Well, I'm an England coach and I'll say to you, go with the first phase, go with the second phase, change the handle, make sure that the next shot is a different shot and go again. And the kid goes, what's he mean? What he means is, mate, go and snot him, adjust. When he misses, snot him again and get round him. How you get round him is up to you.
But what you've got a great way of doing is putting things into simple terms. And I think that's the great thing of a teacher, is you say it so they can understand it, you don't say it so you feel higher than them.
Is it simple terms or is it terms that person would understand?
You know, like I think going back to like when you said how with your other son you'd handle things different with every day. I think that shows why you're such a great coach is your understanding as a person. You understand Kev needed to go through a process to toughen his skin. You can read a person and you can adjust your teaching methods, your coaching methods from what I see into terms they understand, and I think that's what makes him such a great coach. I think that's why, like simple terms.
The same as Kev does.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't teach the two people.
Two of the same. Yeah. Two of the same.
I think, yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's just your understanding of people.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what's the matter with life right now. I was talking about AJ. You know, what a character, what a man.
well, really lovely person as well. When people say about her, oh, is he just this fan character on camera? I've been blessed to meet him once, a meet and greet, and I said I'm Bob Dylan's son, and he'd come up and his arms around me. And the other time when me and Kate and Jazz went up to see him in Sheffield, and he was such a relatable dude. He'd walk in, lean against the ropes, and I go, "Oh, Virgil, like hip hop?" Because yeah, who'd you like? He was a fellow chap. It wasn't when I've met other famous boxers, I won't say they are, and you're thinking, God, what a
Above his station.
well, another
See,
person.
it drives me mad as a nation, England.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Britain, because it isn't Britain. You get the Welsh, their team gets to a final and they lose. They're overwhelmed, we got there. What an achievement. You get somebody who fights for a world title and he loses. Wow, that's the Celt in us. We got to the final and we gave that motherfucker a run for his money. You go to the Scots, then the same. You get a Scot who has a close fight and he wins. Yes! Get the English. I don't know where it comes from. I do that when I start to get stressed. I don't know where it comes from. Because you've got a local hero, you've got a hero. England's that big. That big. The world, England's that big. We're taking off Scotland, we're taking off Wales, it's that big. And we're producing, we've got the two best heavyweights in the world. All Wilder's doing is holding the title until Fury takes it. That's all he's doing. And he won't. So all the politics, cut to the chase. But, oh, I don't like him. Why? Well, what's he done? Oh, you're right, he's won the ABAs. Become European. Silver medal in the world. Olympic gold. Yeah, but it's close with the Olympic gold. But guess what? It's always a close back for the Olympic gold medal.
Yeah.
Because that's why it's the Olympic gold medal.
Yeah.
Then he becomes pro. Then he does all this stuff. And then he wins. And he fights good boxers. No, great boxers. And beats them. And then gets off the canvas. Larry Holmes. He was all on the canvas. I remember Larry Holmes boxing Ernie Shavers, climbing up. In modern day, they'd have stopped it. Climbing up the ropes. And then going and dancing and not knowing where he was for 3 rounds. AJ does it. It's the British. And I'm on about British. Oh, shit. Oh, something about him I don't like. Well, I can understand that because you're short and ugly. He's a magnificent specimen. He's very articulate. He's a multi-millionaire. Everybody loves him. He does nothing wrong. What a prick.
Yeah.
How the fuck can you have all of that? And here I am.
Yeah.
I'm 5'8". I tell everybody I'm 5'9". I'm ginger. I got an orangutan arse. I ain't good. Yeah, I got the right to. I don't get it. He lost. I told you what a wanker he was. Never had no bottle. Olympic gold, world silver, undefeated. Beat them all.
He shows his bottle more now because he's got everything. He's got everything, but he still took that
He
ring.
wants- he's-
I mean,
he-
you know,
baboon,
To me, he
mate.
could retire.
Baboon. Let me tell you the story about
Go
it.
rolled up into the sunset. And
Tell you, yeah, he could have done. And me and Rob McCracken, totally different to me. Whereas I'm all praise. Rob was down the middle. Do you know the first thing Rob McCracken had to drink? Well, the first thing he asked for when he got out the ring? Can I have a cup of tea?
Well, so you know what? There's a picture actually with AJ and everyone celebrating in the ring. Rob McCracken just leaning back, just taking everything in. You can just see him
Watching
just taking
all
it
the
in.
pretenders, the snake oil makers and the witch doctors and bouncing around wherever they're from that are hating him and now they're jumping in the ring. Oh, AJ, let me rub a bit more baby oil on you. Look, I'm rubbing baby oil on you. And there's Rob sat there with his cap on. He's like an old gunslinger. He sits back, he does that with his hat on. I am glad that's over. Yeah. And then he gets out, they're all over there in the country that don't drink, they're all trying to get some booze, they're all trying to, and Rob says, can I have a cup of tea? And a biscuit. You don't drink? He gets high on life. Don't drink. He wouldn't know. His idea of being over the moon is a smirk. It's totally different to me. It's totally different. But he's gone and done the job, and he's tittled his ego to let him be. Here's a story. A friend of Rob McCracken, and you don't get to hear this shit because it don't sell papers.
They're glamorous.
So I'll never forget it because I'm a real emotional dude. When One of Rob's mates rings him up and says, "Oh, me son has always loved him. Would there be any chance of coming down and meeting him?" And he's a dying. He's only got like a couple of months left, and he's a young man in his teens. Rob goes, "Oh, gee, such a kind man, McCracken is. For an hard bastard, for somebody who's hard in the ring and out the ring, and somebody who don't suffer fools gladly, is loyal. For somebody that don't suffer fools gladly, mate, he goes, I'll ask him. He never tells. I goes, yeah, of course, I'll bring him up. And then a couple of weeks after, there's a phone call, Robbie, he ain't going to be able to get there, mate. We can't move him, we've got everything. So AJ says, I'll hire a helicopter, we can drop it over on the bowl. I'll hire that, that'll be out my money, that's all right. He ain't a fool with his money. He don't come flashing money around and all by there. He's one of the lads, he's a GB boxer. So, Rob, well, now we can't get him in the helicopter, that's the thing. So he's willing to do it. So he says, all right. And he says to him, where's he live? And he's in the back end of Brum somewhere. Okay. Week after, we're all in the gym, Rob takes the phone. I'm there. Rob opens it. Hello. All right, AJ, what's the matter, mate? He calls him whatever he calls. All right, Josh, what's the matter, mate? He says, what number's that house? And he goes, 16. He goes, oh, he said, I'm outside it now. He's drove from frigging Finchley, London, all the way down wherever, got the postcode, but I'm out there now. Are they in? Can you ring them, make sure they're in? Rob goes, oh yeah. Bum bum. You knock on the door, he says, you don't know that family jack shit. You go and sits with the kid. Week after, the lad passes away. Yeah. Baboon.
What a lovely memory.
Baboon. I've got a great friend called Amanda Grook. What a great female coach.
Oh, she's lovely, Amanda.
What a good human being. He's got a wonderful son and Derek has got a wonderful family. We've got a lovely kid called Harvey. Down syndrome. With other things. What a family. Yeah. Derek, my hero. You know, he's as straight as a die. He says as it is. She's a great coach. England female boxing is where it is today because of Amanda Rourke. She's brought it on. And what she's saying is, oh, don't give me that woman shit. I'm a boxing coach. And before you start pampering her, leave me out 5 minutes with her. I'm a woman. I'll have woman and woman with her. And she tells me, because that's what we are. We're boxers. It's like when the Olympic come to me and they said to me, oh, we're trying to get all the women to wear skirts when they box. Oh, there's going to be a lot of blokes with hard-ons. I said, the last time I heard that about cockfighting. Well, why do you want to wear skirts? Because in other martial arts, they wear the same as the men. So, yeah. So, going back to AJ, can I bring him? Yeah, bring him in. So she goes in and the kid's got problems, you know, Down syndrome. He's a lovely kid because he's got to be lovely because he comes from Derek and Amanda. And he comes in and he meets AJ and he goes and sits down AJ. But before they've come and he said to man, what does he do and what doesn't he do? And we don't like cleaning his teeth. Oh, okay. And he's got to be strict on his diet because he's got this heart problem. And he goes, oh, okay. Heavyweight champion of the world. He's God come to earth in this little island. So, what's he doing? So he sits down and he goes, hello AJ. He goes, hello. And he sits there and he's just bewildered by this fantastic specimen. And he's talking and blah, blah, blah. He says, and you know, I'll become heavyweight champion. He says, how? He says, well, I clean my teeth every morning and every night. He said, that makes me jaw strong. He said, it gets my brain thinking. He said, I eat my vegetables. He said, I don't like that. Then vegetables, I'll make myself eat them. He said, then when I go bob them, what does that kid do? But you know what he also does? He rings him occasionally. He's the heavyweight champion in the world. He's got people from the marketing after him all the while. You're training him, you're trying to do something. My philosophy with him is shape. AJ fights like AJ. He's a version of Larry Holmes for me. Lead shoulder goes in front, back shoulder goes at the back. What does that give me? Give me a backhand. If I've got a backhand, I've got power. So the lead hand, and then I need balance. Right, so shape and balance, I'm a bad man now. I can hit you, you can't hit me. And if you do hit me, you hit my shield, my lead hand. So if I've got half the target, I've got double the power. That's AJ Style. That's boxing. That's AJ Style. Now, his last fight, he wasn't, the fight that he lost, he wasn't well. He wasn't well, and all that's going to come out. He was not well. He shouldn't have gone in there, but he kept it to himself. And
how brilliant is it, though? And I think, once again, as a role model, you lose. He never went, by the way, I had athlete's foot. By the way, Bob didn't take me on the path, but he just went.
You know what? That's the problem with Ruiz as well. He's come out with every.
That's
excuse
what's
for the
happened.
book,
And what a
that's
shame,
And
he
you
should
just
have learned
think
from that.
Ruiz, he had that opportunity and he took it. And fair play to him. He's got his family. He's done that.
Yeah.
But he should have lost that rematch and gone. AJ
Fair
was better
play.
that night.
One for
As
one.
he did,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, exactly. But it's got to be under AJ's skin now, because why have you done that? I didn't do that when I was losing a lot of blood. I was poorly. I was lack of iron. And, you know, well, whatever the reason, I said, okay, I took me licks, and I'm down the golf, and the bloke says, oh, I don't like him. I said, do you know him? Well, I said, I prefer Tyson Fury. Brilliant. We've got two good guys. So why are we talking bad about the other?
Why do one have to be bad?
So there comes Mr. Bargerman again, smoke man, living in there. And then I have a row. I have a row with an hairdresser. I have a row with whatever. And then I'm thinking, oh, where do I get my hair cut now then? And anxiety attacks.
Yeah.
Anxiety attacks. So going back to the anxiety attacks, after we was talking about it, you know what? We all have them. I'm in the Worlds. I've just come back from the Worlds, where these people that teach all this water and the Cuban way. You know, the Cubans, they're boxing tomorrow, they're boxing, and then boxing in the gym, they're training in the gym, where we call it the taper, then boxing and hitting the bags, and them all wrapped up in stuff, and I'm thinking, how's he going to box 3 threes tomorrow? And then them going sitting in a great big paper bag, like a crisp packet, but it's about 7 foot by 7 foot, and they shut the top, and they're steaming up, and they get in. The Cubans just fight. Cubans fight like madmen.
What they don't realise as well, it's a poor country, so actually it's all basic. It's all just basic. It's the coaches teaching them the basic. They've not got any tech around them. It's all.
Well, there's certain
going there
coaches, I keep saying coach, I should put it on the end. Certain coaches, we box the we box the Cuban way, We've been over there, I've trained with them.
I was very lucky to go on holiday to Cuba, and I went to the schoolboy semi-finals. And there's a 2-time gold medalist, I forget his name. And I said, so what's your secret? He goes, we spar, we run, we do chin-ups. So I went, anything else? He goes, what else do we need? And I went, and you're number one. He goes, we spar, we run, we do chin-ups. And I went, yeah. And then you see these people and they've got the Mayweather pads. You see them on their
Flow like water.
water. They've got these things to see how much testosterone they generate in the left bollock. And you're thinking, either he's a fighting man who's fit or he isn't.
Well, here's a quick story, if there is such a quick story with me. We're over in the WSB, we made Havana, and they're boxing in there, and my Lions are going in, and there's me, Dave Alloway, great coach, Mickey Driscoll, who's now the England coach, great guy, good friend, funny dude. And we do our stuff, and we done well to survive. Nobody died, which to me, I'll never know why. And this guy comes up to me and he says, can I have your pants? I said, no. He said, well, we've got no pads over here. I said, I've got some with me. I said, they're fucking new at home with me. If I don't know what I know now, they've gone here. And he said, look, I am the junior head coach. And Dave Alloway and Mickey Driscoll will tell you. And this is the philosophy how they teach movement, how they all saw movement. They don't do blocks, do they, the Cubans? It's movement. It's how to step back and step in and punch and never take the eye off the inner eye. Inner eye? My inner eye's my arse, you know. That's my third eye. When that starts to twitch, I know there's fucking trouble, right? So, because water can't get to the 3 eye. Anyway, so, and I'm looking at this on his phone. Can't afford pads, but he's got an iPhone, right? So, and I got these little pads that I've took all over the world. And he's the top junior coach. He said, look what we do with our guys. And he's got all these kids all sparring, doing a technique spar. And the technique spar is you can only throw shots. It isn't like jab, block, jab. It's you can only throw 3 shots, and which you do up here with Kevin. And you know what they're wearing? Fuck all. One or two of them have got handkerchiefs around their hands, or a bit of material, and they're sparring bare knuckle. Right? So, are you going to block that? Are you going to use a shield? Are you going to walk forward like that? No, you're going to learn how to. We can't do that because the Russians can't do that. But the Russians are all strength and flair as well. Wow, what a nation of boxers. It's a shame what's happened with them. 3rd time of asking to clear their act up. Right? That's a shame. But what boxers? But strength, come forward, strength. And it's numbers. So when people turn around to me and start saying, oh, we want a box like the Cuban, or we want a box like... I remember America, when it was all about America. I went to Florida, and I went in this big gym where world champions had boxed and whatever, and it was fantastic gym, and I'd just become a level 4 coach 100 years ago, and I sat down next to this bloke that made me look anorexic, so you can tell how big he was, with a big cigar on, it's all air conditioned, we've been watching in the gym, and he was a coach. I didn't know him. And I looked around and I saw these guys punching and whatever, like Mexicans and Texans in this gym, and I saw world champion posters, and I said, where's the coach? You know, you look at him, man. Oh, you're the coach? He went, yeah. Oh, so what do you work on? He says, oh, I work on them then. I said, well, doing what? He said, looking. Okay. So, I've just come from England, you see, and I've just been taught that you teach that, and you have your back up and your bends.
Yeah.
One of the ticker I am, a ticker I am, a ticker I am, one of the ticker, Winnie the Pooh. And you have to teach them that, and you have to teach them to do that. He goes, no, man, he says, you see the little dude? He says, I say to that little dude, copy that little dude. So you see the big dude? So I say to him, copy the big dude. He says, and if they don't do it, they can't do it. No good to me. Bump. So with all these things that I've done in the world, and with all these great British coaches, it comes round that Rob McCracken takes over from a real good friend of mine, Terry Edwards, that done the Beijing. And I've gone from Terry Edwards, which is the structure, which has worked, and I work with Rob McCracken, and I think, this ain't going to work. And he just changed it all. He went from bringing 15, 20 lads in at the time to bringing 6 lads in, and you train them like pros. And you work on shape, you work on balance, you work on finding the range, punch it to the nearest thing to you, and every boxer has his own style, but he has the same philosophy. How brilliant is that? Do you know why that's brilliant? It's simple. What does McCracken do better than anybody? Keeps it simple. He doesn't use the inside block, the outside block. He says, you push in there. So that's where I invented Shield. Because what does that make you then? If I say to you, put a shield up and you've never boxed, what do? You automatically do that. Someone's coming at you this side, put your shield up. So, and then there's Richie Woodall, the best asset we've got, but there was that many people against him, in amateur boxing against him. What does he know, what does he know? World champion, Olympic bronze medalist.
It was Roy Jones who beat him.
Roy Jones beat him. That guy's not got an ego. One of the funniest dudes in the world, Richie Woodall. His dad coached me with Red Steel. Funny dude. But he turned around the one day, I was boxing somebody that had stopped me from Derby. And he says to me, all right, Bob. I said, oh, I'm boxing him again from Derby. He went, what's the matter? I said, he stopped me last time. He said, well, you know what he did wrong, didn't you? I went, yeah, you went, we'll put it right. I went to stop the guy. That's coaching.
Yeah.
That's coaching. But what we do as coaches, now listen, you throw a jab, he throws a jab back. When he throws a jab back, put a right hand. If he wants to do that, do that. And what we've done is, because people that are running coaching courses, or in the past of coaching, it's like you're working at, you know, get in there. If he throws something, do whatever you got to do not to get hit, and try and snatch one back on him. But do what you're good at, and that should be our philosophy. And then it's like, I always feel sorry for the people who've had 9 or 10 bouts and they've won them all. I feel so much more sorry for them than the kid that's had 4 or 5 and lost them all, because there's no expectation on him. Oh, if he gets suing, God bless him. Even though he's been robbed.
Yeah.
Even though he's had a bad night at the office, there's nothing on him. The kid who has 8 to 9, oh, we got somebody now. Because everybody on England expects so much more of a winner. I used to go and box out of town, Derby, Liverpool, wherever, and I'd win. And back in the day, because there was no internet or anything, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. And then you'd have a little write up in the Express Star, Wally team have gone to Liverpool, Wally team have gone to London, Wally team have gone to Derby, and stuff like that. West Midlands have took on East Midlands, and Winner, Sean Messer, Nigel Porter, Red Snooks, Bob Dylan, anyway. And you do Graham Davis, God, what a warrior he was, Saudi Singh, I've gone over, we cleared up, and it'd be in the paper. Nothing. No mass would say nothing. My best mates would say nothing. I go and box at Dudley Town Hall, and them days, a show like Dudley Town Hall, when I was boxing before it was banned, I'd be in the Express and Star. Oh, Bob Dylan beat so-and-so from Worcester, Baba. It was only like 220 bouncers fighting each other. Baba. If there was a little write-up, Bob Dylan lost on points. My mates couldn't show up about it all night long. My best mates.
Yeah.
So I become more afraid of losing than I did of getting hurt.
And that affects so many people in life, doesn't
Well,
it?
it does. You see the parents here. If I could afford another building put onto this, I would. And it'd be put on somewhere where the parents go and sit, and I'd have a television screen put in, where they can go and sit, and I'd have a coffee machine in there for them, make a bit more money. Because everything's free, when they go make a cup of coffee. Nobody says, here, Julie, here's a couple of quid. And I will sit them out there. Leave your anxiety, your fears, your dreams. Encourage your children to dream their own dreams. Embrace it. You know, and that's what we do. We fill people with fears. Like with him, I had to let him fall over. He got calluses on his arse, but he kept getting back up. And that's what you've got to do. And now he's a better coach than me at his age. And he should be, because he builds his empire on my shoulders. I built my empire on Dennis Jackson and Richard Steele's. I took all their wealth of knowledge and I've stuck it in the library. But what I've took with it, I've took Mr. Smokeman. How can I have anxieties? Olympic Games, Olympic champions, Nicola Adams, Joshua Buatsi. What a human being. All these people that come to me, Uncle Bob, teach me to do this, then I do that. Joe Cordina, the Welsh Wizard. Why do I? Can't breathe. What do I have to do? Look at a spot on the wall. Calm. Where does that come from? It's because I'm more afraid of failing than I am of dying. But you know what? I'm not on my own.
But you're not on your own. And because we're going to have to finish soon, if you had to tell young Bernard Dillon something, what would it be?
Embrace friendship, and don't expect people to be me. Don't expect things back. Embrace everything. Embrace that when I do something and I fail, it's okay. If I spell something and it's wrong, as long as they understand what I've put down there, then do it. Embrace friendship. And when somebody don't like it, embrace it. Yeah, okay. I don't mean embrace it. Oh, I'm glad you don't like me. Okay, I can understand that. I'm not your cup of tea. If I could do that, I can't do it now. I cannot do it to this day. Embrace it. It gets personal. You don't like me, well, there's a wanker. If I could be somebody different, I want all my skills that I've got. I wouldn't change the love that I've had, because I've been so blessed. I'm so blessed to be where I am because of the love in my life. But if I could change, I'd embrace more. I'd learn more. I would, and I'd like to get away from letting fear rule me. Like when I have to get up and do a speech, I'll get up and do that. That's no shit. But if I've got to get up and do an exam, I'm frightened. If I fail, I fail. It shows I'm human. So if I could change something about me, it would be that. Don't take things so personal. Embrace things. Yeah, okay. I'm here. I'll live a wonderful life. I'm as famous as I want to be. I don't have no press ringing up looking for leaks. There's people in this life that are so festered, not with jealousy, but with hate. And they don't know why they hate. You've got the biggest form of, the biggest crime for me is when somebody, what's the word I was talking about, somebody that we both know that they control the mind. It's abuse, mental abuse. Mentally torture someone. It's like the water treatment. And then people in the family become afraid of that person because he doesn't turn off the fucking water. Right? Those people have got to me in the past. Not now, they don't. I just wish that younger on in life that I'd got this. Then maybe I wouldn't have this. But then Mr. Smokeman's in the library. He'd find somewhere else to go. So all I want to say to everybody out there is, there's more of us than there is of them. Because everybody has it, but not everybody talks about it. And this is why I'm so privileged to have you guys in my life and to invite me here. I'm so privileged because We can talk about this. And you know what? It's heavy to walk around with it all the while. Now me, this will get rid of my shit for a few days, for a few weeks. I'll go to Kazakhstan in the new year on a training camp where I love it over there, and we'll eat shit. And then at the end of the week, they'll give us a lovely meal. It's called fucking horse meat. And a great big thing there, and they'll rip it right. I'll be worried. I hope the roommate to up. I will have a stress attack about, I hope that roommate to up because it's going to be 30 degrees below. 30 degrees below. As you walk, your contacts dry up. Right, freezing. And I'm not thinking, ooh. I'm thinking, I hope I've got a window on that room because I ain't going to be able to breathe. But I can go and sit in a sauna bath. As long as we all realise we all have that shit. Some of us deal with it. A great coach and a great friend of mine who I love, like a brother Lee Pullen, said something to me the other day. Sometimes I get smelly shit in my head and I have to stop and I think about a river and I think of these leaves coming off and going into the river, and then I watch one leaf and I say, I watch you go down the river. And then he gets rid of it that way. And then he goes again. Mr. Positivity. It's amazing. Wherever he goes with the team, laughing and joking and Mr. Cool, he brings back medals. Whenever I go with a guy from Liverpool called Paul Bennett, we yin and yang. Everything's prestige, and me, I'm everywhere. And I'll get into the box, he lets me do what I do. Whenever we come back from anywhere, we come back with medals. European under 22s in Russia, 6 in the final. They stitched us up in the final, 6 in the final. European, the EU games in Spain, 8 in the final.
Well,
use your talents.
Yeah, and keep up the good work, Dad.
Well, let me interject here. I'll keep doing what I do because I love what I do, and I'm an old man and I ain't going to change. I'll just get more grizzly and I'll start peeing more and more. That's what you got to look forward to. As you get older, you'll pee a lot. Right. Let me just say this before you end it. The heroes in this world are you guys that come up here 2 days before Christmas, a day before Christmas, and you come up and you give your time with all the shit you've got, and you come up and you do this. So as people like me think, wow, I didn't realise there was that many of us. Our gang's phenomenal. There's more of us than there is of them. So from people like me, I'll salute you and I'll say to you, you've shown more bravery than anybody that gets in the ring. And I want to say, on behalf of all of us, thank you.
Well, thank you. It's been a lovely episode. So, until next week, gang, ta-ra a bit.
Well done, gang, for listening to much shit.
Mate,
Whoa!
listen to it all day.
Will you do your magic on that?
Listen.
And that's a wrap for another show. But if there are any comments or messages that you would like us to read out for our next podcast, please be in touch. There are also lots of different organisations at the bottom of this page, and hopefully they can help you or someone you care about. Please share this to spread the word. Until we talk next time, ta-ra a bit.
Listen.